This one is, am I the astronaut for opening a business that competes with my sibling's business? Oh, shit. Sibling rivalry. It's a real thing. I, female 41, and my brother, male 44, are in the same industry, and his business has 3 locations and has been open in the area for over 20 years. I worked for him 9 out of those years and was an excellent employee and managed his business for the last 5. Oh. Last year, he asked me to train some new employees, which takes money out of my pocket, and I agreed for the sake of the team. Upon their completion of training, one of those trainees was given one of the best schedules, leaving me with a 50% pay cut. This created animosity amongst the other employees. I brought the scheduling issue to my brother, and it mostly was ironed out. Immediately thereafter, this same girl began complaining on our work chat that I left things in poor condition and unfinished, but only when working after me, no one else. Several months later, I was informed she would be taking over a portion of my managerial duties through a text, and even though I had been there almost a decade and she barely a year, she was given the choice as to what she preferred to manage, and I got to manage what was left over. I was not asked for any input or preferences. That's when I put in my notice and left quietly at the end of the month. After leaving, I decided after over a decade in this field, I enjoyed it, and I didn't want to stop working in the industry, and I started planning to open my own business. I didn't consult with my brother because I didn't feel it was his business, and I didn't tell him because we hadn't cleared the air after my unhappy departure. I announced on my personal work Instagram that I would be opening a business. He immediately messaged me about it, and I told him it was just business. His wife messaged me saying I stabbed them in the back and that I'm scum and uninvited me to their daughter's upcoming wedding. They called the rest of the family to see if they knew my plans and told them all they were awful for keeping this information from him, but they said it was not their business to share. At the end of the day, I like what I do and I'm good at it. The work environment with my brother was hostile and my pay was reduced by over 20% to accommodate this new employee. Am I the astronaut for going out and starting my own thing even though it's in the same industry and could be considered competition? Well, that feels like you were kind of forced out here, doesn't it? It feels like you were forced out. Also, what does this new employee there have on him or them to get run of the show? To be able to choose, like cherry pick all of the things. They knew what they were doing when they gave her that preferential treatment that they were giving you. What's the opposite of preferential treatment? Candy Thunder's making lewd hand gestures off screen here. I look over at Candy Thunder and she's going like this. That's not the opposite of preferential treatment. That's so they're giving you the flip side of that, where it feels like either they were blackmailed or something was held over them where they had to give them this control, but knowingly allowed it to harm you without giving you the common courtesy of a heads up or an explanation or anything. So by de facto, it feels like they kind of forced you out here, and without any kind of non-compete or anything, it's fair game. If you were completely mistreated here and you're good at this and they know that you're good at this, they knew it was a risk whenever they started mistreating you that you could go out and start your own thing. Every small business owner knows that's a risk. And if they trained you up for 10 years and then just decided to out you, if you can do it better, do it better. Competition's good for everybody. Yeah. Everybody's like, yeah, brother's having an affair here. So maybe respond to wife and be like, hey, I don't know if you are aware of what caused this, but he is allowing this woman to completely run the show over there, and to the point where it ran me off. That's why I'm starting my own thing. Maybe you investigate that a little bit. Heather, whatever your name is. Maybe you investigate that a little bit before coming at me. There's a reason I was forced out. There's a reason that this employee is being treated the way that she is, and no one's happy over there. Guess what? If I'm starting my new gig and everybody's unhappy except for this one girl who's getting the keys to the kingdom because she's boning your hubby or whatever, all of those employees are going to leave and come over to my company here soon. Is that going to be my fault too? Maybe look in your own backyard before you start letting your dog shit in mine. That was a Candy Thunderism. She looked up and she's like, yeah, I get that. I get it. OP. You are NTA. Most non-competes are not legally enforceable anyway. I know a lot of them are, short-term focused. There is, Heidi, that's a good point. Bro expected blind loyalty and respect, but gives none. There has to be a reciprocation there. He expected to be worshipped without giving any kind of consideration. I don't even know that it's petty confetti. It's not petty. It's just, you've got the experience. You're good at this. You can provide a better service to people because the people who are passionate about it are no longer working at your brother's company. That is his choice. It sounds like he let his dick run his company into the ground. It may not be there yet. But it's heading that direction. And I would alert Wifey Poo why you left, because she may not be aware that he is giving this woman all this control. They brought on that little harlot to run that company into the ground, so you do what you must.